in the
Passing through the backwoods town of Sparta, Mississippi, Philadelphia detective Virgil Tibbs, Sidney Poitier, becomes embroiled in a murder case. He forms an uneasy alliance with the bigoted police chief, Rod Steiger, who faces mounting pressure from Sparta's hostile citizens to catch the killer and run the African-American interloper out of town. Director Norman Jewison splices incisive social commentary into this thrilling police procedural with the help of Haskell Wexler's vivid cinematography, Quincy Jones's eclectic score, and two indelible lead performances. A career-defining display of seething indignation and moral authority from Poitier and an Oscar-winning masterclass in method acting from Steiger. Winner of 5 Academy Awards, including for Best Picture, In the Heat of the Night is one of the most enduring Hollywood films of the civil rights era. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Criterion Sessions, a very special crossover episode between One Heat Minute Productions and the wonderful and amazing Watch with Jen podcast with my dearest big sister from another mister, Jen Johans. Hello, Jen.
Hey, Blake. Thank you for having me. I love doing this with you.
This is not a having me. This is something we're doing together. It's a meeting of minds. This is two people who love physical media in
Yeah.
all forms, getting together for a quick chat about something that's been out before,
Yeah.
but something that is looking absolutely stunning in 4K, which is Norman Jewison's In the Heat of the Night, starring the legendary singular Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. Jen,
Doesn't get better than that, basically. Yeah.
what is this? I know you're such a huge fan of Sidney, and I know that you're a particular fan of this era, New Hollywood. Like In the Heat of the Night is like a cusper. It's right on that new. It's like Hollywood was trying to figure out what it was going to be, and it feels like it's right. It's, I've always thought of it like 1968 is kind of New Hollywood, but 1967 here, this is like kicking down the door of what New Hollywood is going to be. What is your relationship with In the Heat of the Night and this film, Mr. Virgil Tibbs?
This is an amazing movie and an era because this is also around the time of like Bonnie and Clyde and The Graduate and all of these leading into the late 60s, early 70s. But one thing I love about In the Heat of the Night is it works on so many levels. It's an incredible mystery just as a fan of that particular genre. It won the Edgar for that. It's like a perfect mystery. Like it opens, it establishes what you need to know, and we circle back to it. It's incredible that way. Of course, the social issues. This is before we lost MLK. It's kind of like the country is changing. But one thing beyond, of course, Steiger and Poitier and my love for them is the people who worked on it behind the scenes too, and what a pivotal film it was for them. Because you have Haskell Wexler,
Yeah.
who wound up making like Medium Cool, and he's just one of the legends and invented, the cam thing for Bound for Glory that changed cinematography forever. And then you also have like Hal Ashby winning the award for editing. And Hal, of course, to me was the 70s, like Last Detail and Coming Home. And so you have Norman Jewison seeing these collaborations with these people and being so great at inspiring the people working with him, like Hal, hey, you should make movies. And I think this movie was pivotal for everyone.
Can you imagine? Like, you sometimes have seen it like with friends or whatever, where you're like, you're really talented. Like it's just gonna happen. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen for you. And can you imagine that being Hal Ashby? Just sitting there and be like, wow, this guy, he's got such an intuition about like
Yeah.
the pacing of a story and what absolutely is essential and how we should linger, like the spaces where we should linger to deepen character. Oh, that's really, this guy's good. You should maybe direct one day, Hal Ashby. Shouldn't
Yes, and he
it's
kind of
just
opened the door for him because Jewison was supposed to do the landlord,
yeah,
and he couldn't. And that's another social justice, race
yeah.
related film. And it's like, nope, Hal's gonna step right in, and
It's
he
so
did.
so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
it's there are a few of those. This might be one of the best ones of like all the collaborators are in it together. and then
Yeah,
they go off and do other things separately that are as good. Because you still see that sometimes with, it's rarer with editors
it
who
is.
are
That's
who are
true.
phenomenal storytellers. They
Yeah.
don't get that chance as
Yeah.
much. Like
And
even
sometimes
recent,
they crash and burn. Yeah.
yeah, they can crash and burn. The one um recently is like Billy Goldenberg, who's one of the greatest editors of all time, like Michael Mann alum, edited Heat, The
Yeah.
Insider, Academy Award winner, like multiple Academy nominated and now Academy Award winning editor. He's only like very recently got to go and direct his first film, which it was
Hmm.
very good. So yeah, super interesting. This also, there's something about, I want to get back to the mystery of it because that's what I also reappreciated this time is
Yeah.
it is so effortless, this movie and its mystery. It's like
Hmm.
it's just such a, it's like as you said, like it's the biggest hiding in plain sight bait and switch
Yeah. Slow
thing.
burn.
It's slow
Yep.
burn that just lets you go, and
Hmm.
and all of the tension and anxiety is actually created by the character's frustration that they can't figure it out, or that they think they have the answer and they don't. And then the conflict that's inherent in the movie just keeps mounting because of those beautiful things clashing together. So, yeah, I can't get enough of the way that it moves around and the interactions with the different people, especially. And I'm gonna forget the the lady character who is in it, where she comes in because her husband's passed away and she's watching this racial friction between them, and she's like,
Yes.
what are you guys doing? Someone's dead. What is all this nonsense?" It's actually really still kind of confronting, you know?
Hmm.
Like life and death. It's a really, I loved those sequences again, and watching just the way that it was sort of effortlessly constructed.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very much, I feel like and you're a Pakula fan, of course, and there's Pollock, but I feel like Norman Jewison, like, and I'd say Stephen Frears is another one, are these like rare directors who just got people
Yeah,
and just worked with actors like better than anyone. And Norman Jewison is that guy. Yeah, the scenes with Lee Grant are incredible,
yeah,
as she's like trying to figure it out. Like, I don't care. We need to solve this. Like, reminding you of the human thing. I also like the idea that as much of an outsider, of course, as the Poitier character is, we learn that Steiger is as well. And I think that is a fascinating thing about this film. But yeah, as far as the hiding in plain sight of it all, like, something is rotten in Denmark right away in that first scene.
yeah,
And you don't actually know all these things. We're watching these people spend this really hot evening and how everything is going to pay off. And it's just, I mean, it's like clockwork, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the so
And that's
Anthony
the
James,
script. Yeah.
well, yeah, Anthony James, who plays Ralph in this movie,
Oof.
also, like you would appreciate this from me. It's like I see him, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot Skinny was in this. And Skinny is obviously Anthony James's character name from Unforgiven. And and when I was watching it, it kind of gave me like this new like little wrinkle
Yes.
of appreciation for that specific casting in Unforgiven, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
We know what this guy can do. Yeah.
yeah, is Skinny like, I mean, he's a terrific actor, Anthony James. He's in a million things. He's in a
Hmm.
million things. But for me, he's Skinny. So when I saw all this again, I was like, it was a whole reappreciation of like, oh my God, that's Skinny. And helping to do that. But yeah, I like what you said about Stephen Frears, because Stephen Frears does get people, but unfortunately with Stephen Frears is some of those, he's unlike Jewison. He doesn't also have a complete murderer's row of Haskell Wexler and Hal
Yeah,
Ashby
that's
editing,
true.
in
Hmm.
that particular thing. And you can see it in the sequel. as well. But it's yeah, I really like I mean, I really like Steiger. Steiger's such an interesting cat. If you want to go down someone's
Yes.
uh go down a rabbit hole of someone's just insane resume, like go
Hmm.
down Steiger. Like
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, I was going down like, and there are a whole bunch of like huge epics. So you've got like things like In the Heat of the Night, you've got The Pawnbroker on the waterfront, but then you've got like Waterloo and Dr. Zhivago. Like he's also got these huge,
So
big
much
epics.
range.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
ranged for days. So my advice is like that's everyone's gonna. I feel like everyone who loves and adores this movie is immediately buying the upgrade. I feel like if you've got the 4K setup and it looks beautiful, you're just gonna cherish literally feeling the sweat beading on people's faces and the I don't know, the you can kind of feel the humidity in the air and you're going to appreciate all of the great technical achievements, but also the actors themselves. I think are worth, like you said, Lee Grant, terrific. Um, even Anthony James, you'll watch 25,000 films because he's been in everything. And Sidney, but Rod Steiger, definitely worth there. And there is a really beautiful essay in this. I think it's in the last version as well, called the Double Bind by Chaos and Collins, who's a really terrific writer and a great previous guest on my show, and I think would be a great guest on your show, Jen.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of great writing, of course, this was based on a novel, but the screenplay was written by Sterling Silliphant, who is another wonderful rabbit hole to go
Yes, yes.
down. I mean, dude wrote everything from, Route 66 to Over the Top with Stallone, but also like The Killer Elite, Shaft, Towering Inferno, Charlie. I mean, this was the whole era. He wrote The Swarm, The Poseidon Adventure, The Lineup. He was involved in all of these films. And he also wrote, yeah, The Enforcer, The Slender Thread. So he wrote for Poitier again. I mean, just like, again, the people behind the scenes are just as iconic and legendary as the people in front. So this is a great example of also it's a studio picture. Can you imagine a studio making a film like this today? Like,
No,
not at all.
never. It's what's
Mhm.
so funny is now that's a screen drafts. The Sterling
Yeah, yeah.
the Sterling Silliphant screen draft because you get up.
7 hour episode.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's. I mean, when people realize how much higher over the top gets in that list than they would expect, I think that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
definitely reflect. But you touch on something so perfect there, which is like In the Heat of the Night was, and I think this was in the recent Sydney documentary, which is terrific,
Hmm.
by the way, if you haven't had a chance to see it on Apple TV. It was just talking about Hollywood establishment looking over at things like blaxploitation and going like, there is a huge audience of American people. There's a huge part of our culture that we just completely flagrantly ignoring in our mainstream movies. And so, you know, watching this be and other things like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, watching these things start busting through and breaking through, it also is people behind, as you talked about, like with Shaft and things like that. Like it's these things finding a way to bridge to like industries, a satellite in the blaxploitation industry and the mainstream, and in New Hollywood, like independent cinema, all sort of coalescing to like rewrite what mainstream Hollywood is. So it's a really fascinating nexus film for all these
Hmm.
different people and all the collaborators. It's really brilliant. It kind of feels like the most Criterion thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like of
Yeah, for
Criterion,
sure.
it's like one of those ones where it's like culturally significant, perfect nexus of time, perfect bunch of collaborators, all of which who like are probably on the spines and the covers of a bunch of other Criterion Collection movies as well.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels like one of those that's like and yeah, it's really quite stunning. And I love this. I love this artwork. I love this artwork on
Oh,
this
it's
bad boy.
beautiful. Yeah, and as far as, Sydney goes, he's one of my favorite people to study. I've loved reading his books. If you want, like as we're recording this, Father's Day is coming. One of the best books that I read, that was written by an actor was Life Beyond Measure, which was Letters to My Great-Granddaughter, which was full of wisdom about, like learning as much as you can, ignorance is the great enemy, and just thoughts on his life and thoughts for her future and what is important. But as far as people forget when they think of Sidney, he was a highly critiqued figure in this era. There
Yeah.
were people who really didn't think he was doing enough. He wasn't revolutionary enough. He was frustrated with the roles that he was getting as well. They called, some people were referring to him like as a model integrationist
Yeah.
because he was non-threatening and he really had some issues. Like in the late 60s when this would have been made, he famously was complaining about his on-screen sexuality and the way they were treating him. He said either there were no women or there was a woman, but she was blind, or the relationship was of a nature that satisfied the taboos. I was at my wit's end when I finished A Patch of Blue. Now, A Patch of Blue is actually my favorite Sidney Poitier film, the one with the blind woman. But I hear what he's saying. And when you put it in concert with all of the other films, I can't imagine. So seeing him in something like this, where we actually got to have him kind of push back and do something, like we said, the slap heard round the world
Yeah.
was the bonus feature I remember on the MGM disc I reviewed forever ago. Was really cool, and it was a pivotal time for Sydney too.
Yeah. And it was also uh, a friend of mine, Craig Lindsay, Uncle Crizzle, people might know him as
Yes.
online, um, talked about the concept of Sydney for parts of culture. Like in Australia, it's like the big totemic things, us being not as intrinsically connected to the American civil rights movement, but knowing about it. And so Sydney was an
Yeah.
actor first and foremost. But what was super interesting that Craig sort of enlightened me to, he's like, man, like I, Buck and the Preacher showed in our house a lot more than Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, let me tell you, or like a piece of the
Hmm.
action or Stir Crazy. And so that dissatisfaction
Yes.
really helped him shift his entire career persona into like, no, I'm going to go and make movies about my experience and reflect my experience on the screen,
Yeah.
and tackle it in any number of ways that I want to do it. And so then you get this really cool, like interesting kind of like forced holiday in the middle of his career because you've kind of got like you take the jump. It's like a piece of the action, shoot to kill, and then like he's not acting that much at all. Like he then bounces into
Hmm.
Sneakers, which I love and you love, and then you know he's popping up and doing little bits and pieces after that, little pieces of acting. He's like, I don't need to act in everything. I don't need to be
Yeah.
in 3 movies a year, but all of the, as you said, all of the like the significant part of his career is literally the late 50s into early 60s, right up to this, this movie, and then it kind of like pumps the
Yeah.
brakes for a significant amount of time.
Yeah. He switched into directing for a bit
Yeah,
and did other things. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is if you're new to Poitier, I mean, you can't do better than this movie if you're new to Steiger or Jewison. And that's another rabbit hole. He's one of my favorites, of course, because he made Moonstruck, which is the first movie I saw in the theater as a girl with people in it. So, you've got just some incredible people. So highly recommend this
Well, I
edition.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we could. That's a whole other show, Jen. That when you say Moonstruck is the first movie,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of moon. I can see it. I can see
Yeah.
why. I can see why. And also being just also slightly cautious of Nicolas Cage's out there. You know what I mean? He's just a bit crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
just a little bit crazy, just slightly crazy.
Yeah.
But
I'm done with the larger than life. I mean, they're wonderful and romantic, but in real life it's a mess. Yes. No more Roddy Cameraris. Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole
oh,
other
that's a
podcast.
whole other podcast. But I really want to end it with there are no more Roddy Camararis.
Yeah, we're looking for, the people that have it together. We're looking for
Yeah,
the Mr. Tibbs.
we're
Yeah,
looking for Tibbs.
we
I
all
mean,
are.
everyone's looking to be Tibbs or like looking for a
Be
Tibbs.
Tibbs.
Be
Yeah,
Tibbs. Just be
especially
Tibbs.
now.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
really, when someone slaps you, you really want to slap them back, just like Tibbs. You really want to
Yeah.
be that. You want to really want to be that guy. Be that guy. Be Tibbs.
Yeah.
No more Roddy Camararis. And thank you so much for listening to this little one heat minute productions and watch with Jane crossover. Um, in the heat of the night, it's been in the collection, Criterion Collection for so long. I don't know how much more we can say, like emphatically, that there's 25 reasons that you need to get it. And if the upgrades are ready for you, then absolutely get it.
Yes.
If you catch his eye, fly.